Estate agency's a people business, isn't it? Today I'm joined by Rob Smith, boss man of Whitegates and Hunters. So he's responsible for 150, 160 franchise offices, and he's here to talk about whether estate agency is a people business or a property business. Rob, is estate agency a people business? Talk to me.
It's everything about people. It's everything, and that starts from my perspective, from your team and the staff that you employ, and the longevity, the training, the commitment, and the effort you put into making them.
Sorry, what's that T word you say? Training?
Training, yes.
No,
yes. Consistent training and persistent and repetitive training, and then coaching. So yeah, big industry. Historically, a big industry flaw that you start on Monday and you're on the phones on Tuesday and crack on and away you go. But we've got to invest in time spent.
Isn't it? I know you're part of the PFG, which will have its own training departments and things, but I find it fascinating that we consider ourselves a profession, but we don't train and develop enough. You know, I've counted out of the top 50 estate agents, which I would expect brand-wise to have their own training departments. I can't get past more than 8 or 9 trainers.
Yeah.
8 or 9 trainers to look after 14,000 estate agency firms. It's disgusting. Why do you think we are so bad? You know, if we're saying we're in a people business, so therefore it's the relationship between our people and our customers, and training and development is the way forward to better someone. Why aren't we very good at that?
I think it's one of the reasons being is it's because the easiest and quickest investment to remove and save costs when you need to save costs.
Along with marketing.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily the right thing to do, because we still, in a market where there's less opportunities, we need to be better at getting them.
Yes.
And therefore, training's pretty important. So I think that's one of them. It's pretty cost effective to remove people. It's an easy layer to remove that, in theory, doesn't affect your trading every day. It
won't in the short term.
No, you've still got people to answer the phone, haven't you? So I think that's one of the reasons. I think the other reason, and another reason, is finding the right people, the right trainers. Once you've got a good trainer, and I've been really fortunate to work with some excellent trainers who have stayed with us. Once you've got a good trainer, you need to invest in them. You've got to train the trainer, so to speak. We've got to keep the trainers educated on changes in legislation, changes in new processes, changes in new tech. We've got to keep them up to speed as well, so that their value is seen to be important, and we can keep them up to speed, I suppose.
So we're in agreement that training and development is important, but we as an industry are not particularly good at it. Moving forward, if it's still a people business and it's a relationship business, there's only so far that you can go with processes and training. There has to be the softer stuff, the empathy, the softer, cuddly stuff. How do we get better at that?
I think the more conversations we have with people over the telephone, the more likely we'll get better at empathy. IT and technology is amazing in comparison to when I used to have the newspaper and...
You remember the hot boxes?
Hot boxes, stick your photos on the brochures, all of that, and everyone came in on a Friday when the Property Echo in Lincoln came out and the phones went mad. From those days, the only way you could communicate with people was when they actually physically came into the branch or from their home telephone number. So you had to become more skilled in talking to people face to face, whereas now you can just ping messages here, there and everywhere, can't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, just for you youngsters out there, in the old days we actually had to stick photographs on, or put it through the photocopy and stick a photograph on, and before the internet we had to use these things called newspapers. I'm being sarcastic here.
I know.
But people used to put themselves on the mailing list, and there was no electronics, so it was all on what these things called hot boxes, where you had like this A5 card, and you'd wait for it. He's sitting down, write on it.
Yes.
And then you had to pick up the phone
and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do you think through the use of technology that we have lost that art? Because you can still talk to people on the phone, and I know we're going to talk about phones later, but let's just go a little bit down that rabbit hole, why are we so afraid of that telephone?
Because it's too easy not to talk to somebody. It's too easy to send them a message, and it's deemed too often as the best way to communicate. I think the other thing is giving a bad message to somebody is a lot easier to do in a text message, a WhatsApp or an email, when actually, going back to your point about empathy, the best way to actually do it is to pick the phone up, ring somebody, but before you ring somebody is think about how they might be feeling about the message you're about to give to them, and then put it in the best way you possibly can to get the outcome, to make them understand why what's happened has happened. So I think it's speed, really quick to send lots of people lots of messages. So this bulk communication sort of method is one of them. But I also think I think people get afraid of people asking questions they might not know answers to. So therefore, I don't ring you when I should.
So what would your top tips be to any young estate agent watching this, wanting to crack on in life and become a fantastic estate agent?
Physically talk to as many people as you can, as often as you possibly can. Back that up with good IT that reminds them that you're there. But the text message and the WhatsApp message doesn't take the place of a nice quality phone call with somebody where you can remind them that you're there to help and support them.
Rob, thank you for your time today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.